Huh?
They have youth entertainment.
Isn't that cool?
It's just a fancy school.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to high school, I went to high school in Quonset. I mean, this is like a mansion, you know? Okay, fundamentally, you guys did a good job. You seem to know the fundamentals of what you're supposed to do, and that's a good thing. What I want to point out are some things that I was looking for that I saw, and some things I was looking for that I didn't see that you can use as an opportunity for improvement on your next crime scene, okay? Upon arrival, I heard you say on the scene, okay? I heard you say it because I was listening for it because it's one of my checkpoints, but you did not tell me you were calling dispatch to do it. You sort of said it. You should have said it to me. I gave you credit, okay, because I heard it, but I could have missed it if I'd have been somewhere else, okay? But I was listening for it because that's one of my checkpoints, and I gave you some credit for that.
Because we said 252.
Okay, but she needs to make sure I hear it.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. When I was telling you in the room there, nothing you say between yourselves really matters. It's what you say to me that matters. Okay, and because I heard it, I gave you credit. But just make sure it's clear, you know, dispatch 252 is on the scene, or whatever, however you want to report that, okay? And make sure that the judge hears that. The other thing is you did a quality entry into the room. You had your lights. You checked the window before you walked in. You came into the room in a quality manner. My only suggestion would be when you arrived at the alarm scene, the perp may still be in the room. You don't know that. You spent too much time with the manager before trying to clear the room. You want to get that guy if he's still in there, okay? You can get his ID, you know, verify who he is, obviously, and maybe leave an officer with him, but you want to clear the room. That's your primary objective. You want to see if you've got a bad guy in the room, okay? So once you've cleared the room and you're secure, then you can come back and you can ask the manager anything you want to ask him all day long, okay? So my only concern there was the amount of time that you took before you decided to come in and clear the room. Now, the most grievous thing that I saw, and I want to point this out because this is a real safety issue. The most grievous thing I saw was you cleared that side of the room before you even looked under the desk, whoever was clearing that side of the room.
Oh, I had looked under the desk from over there.
Well, could he have been hiding behind the desk? Because you were standing in front of the desk over there when you said clear, okay? Because I was watching, because that's one of my checkpoints. And there could have been someone behind the desk, under the desk, whatever, and you cleared that portion of the room. But that in itself wasn't the most serious thing. The most serious thing was you had brought the manager back into the room and then determined that you hadn't cleared this cabinet, okay? So that is a serious safety concern. Make sure, do not cut corners on clearing. Make sure that you have secured the room before you bring civilians into the room. Okay? And don't cut any corners in, because this is the most, you're going to get shot one day if you don't. Okay? And you don't want to be shot at. Okay? Because someday you're going to walk into a room, there's going to be somebody there. Okay? So don't take for granted that things are as they appear. Clear the room. But other than that, you did a good entry when you came in. I really liked the way you announced yourself. You identified your authority. When you busted into the room, you let them know you were coming in. Very good. Not all teams did that. Good job on that. Good control of the manager. I like the way you controlled him on the outside. I like the way you controlled him on the inside. You know, except for that one little misstep with the clearing over here on the cabinet. I like the way you managed him. Gloves were in place. You did a good job with the photographs. Not all teams were actually photographing corners in the entryway. I would have I would have also taken a picture of the outside of the entryway and the inside of the entryway, so you can see both of those. But fundamentally, you did a good job with the photographs, and good job of communicating what you were doing. Vic, do you have something you want to?
Yeah, important things to realize here when you come into this, a scenario like this, you only have two sources of information when you come in here. One source is this room. The other source is me. So don't ever shortchange yourself on questions. Ask me numerous questions. Ask me the questions over again after a pause to make sure that I give you the same answer. You did a good job when you came back and asked, does anybody else have a key? After I just told you the secretary had one, and I let it drop there. You know, I could be nervous because I just been robbed and I didn't think about the leasing office. But you did come back and ask me again, does anybody else have a key? You asked a question at one point about, I think about disgruntled employees or customers or anything like that. Find out who my employees are. You realize from the situation that they probably had a key or a really good locksmith to pick that. Find out who my employees are. My employee could have made a copy of the key, but you never got a name or anything. I have 2 or 3 other employees. But don't ever hesitate to go back and ask the same question over again, because you may come up with a different answer, which may mean I was lying one time, or the first or the second time. Or I may be nervous and upset talking to the police after a break-in, and I may just not think of something the first time. So don't ever forget to come back again. The interview process was half of your source of information was the interview process. And you did a good thing there where you started out and you started out with me being the victim, and then started getting to the point where maybe I'm really the suspect. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to, the way you present it is going to make a difference, and I'm sure that through your training you'll go through a lot on interview and interrogation. But, don't ever stop asking questions.
Yeah, no one knows the suspect, you might be coming for himself.
Sure.
That's perfect.
Sure, I could have
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I didn't want you to get offended.
Right,
And I wouldn't know what to
Because
say.
there's no forced entry, which it was no by key, and you have the key to the manager, and you guys are the exact same time we did. So you
Well,
go stash it and come back.
the intent was in setting this scenario up was that you don't really have a suspect. The idea is you have to find one. So I could have been a suspect.
You never have the alarm at all. So you could have gotten here, turned the alarm off. then you
I could have
went out.
gone around the corner.
Yeah, you could turn the alarm on, then you down, then you went, oh, I just got here. So that way.
But you guys did a good job. You did a good job. Even from the initial entry, that was, very impressive. You announced yourself well, you put the flashlights out. The only thing I thought was, maybe you could have done more clearing the room with flashlights before you flipped the lights on, because the minute you turn those lights on, you become a target.
Oh,
That's what we're trained.
Yeah, we're talking to
Are you-
once you go in.
As
Yeah.
soon as you get in, turn them on, okay.
Just
Yes.
so they can see a complete.
Many times over. Turn them on when you get in.
They could have had this goggles.
That's true. But no, I thought you did a great job. You're well
Good job.
trained.
Like you said, you clearly have, you clearly know all the fundamentals, and you know what it is you're supposed to do. Just work on the detail. And make sure you're telling, for your competition, to get the max points, don't be afraid, tell your judge. Make sure you're communicating with the judge exactly what you're doing, and be specific. Like on your evidence, I'm bagging, tagging the evidence, I'm making an item number, notating the number for this piece of evidence, we're logging it. For your photographs, make sure you tell the judge, we're taking photographs, we're logging the photographs in our photograph log, and we're gonna log the photographs as evidence. Just, I gave you partial credit for that, okay? But just make sure you're doing that. Don't take anything for granted. Don't assume the judge is gonna know that just because you're taking photographs, you're logging it. Okay?
Okay.
But you did good. I hope you do well in your next, what do you got, 2 more? One more?
Sorry.